All right. Hi, Jackie.
Hi, Yaeli.
Welcome to the podcast. I'm so happy you're here. I wanted to have you on for so long, but you're in LA. So
Yes.
finally, we made it work.
We collided.
Yeah, we collided. I love following you. I love listening to all your advice and everything that you're putting out there. I would love to just hang out with you and talk to you and hear your story and just like how you got here.
Where's here?
Here, married, a baby. Now I'm saying you're visiting the 5 towns, but like your whole, like take us back to the beginning. How'd you start? Where'd you grow up?
Oh, that far back. Okay. I grew up in Sydney, Australia, but I was born in Montreal, Canada, which people don't realize because I sound Australian.
Yes, you do sound Australian.
I am Australian, but I was born in Montreal for 5 years. My father was there for sabbatical for McGill University as a doctor. For 10 years, him and my mom went there for a decade and had both my brother and I, and then went back to Australia. They were from Australia originally. My father was actually from Poland and was a Holocaust survivor. That's a whole other story. Like Anne Frank, he hid in basements and crazy, amazing, miraculous stories.
Wow.
So then I was raised in Australia, but in a completely non-Jewish area. I think part of the Holocaust influence was let's go as far away as possible from any identification or affiliation with Jews, which is common. And so we were raised in a completely non-Jewish, non-affiliated area. It's like I was like a non-Jew, even though I knew I was Jewish. And I always felt different because I was Jewish. I always had this intrinsic feeling, I'm so different. I didn't know why. I didn't know what that feeling was.
Wow.
And it was weird. I felt less than. I always felt less than because of it. And I was ashamed of it. But I probably absorbed the shame.
Interesting. Wow.
From my father never spoke a word about it. He was a child. But I always felt that shame that I was Jewish, like to hide the Jewish. And so I did for many, many years until Hashem decided now he's going to arouse something in my heart to want to explore it, which is what happened. Actually, my brother went first. And so my brother started exploring it first. And I was like happy for him, but I was so happy doing my career and doing whatever I thought I should be doing, which was psychology. And I had a very deep desire to change the world.
Yeah.
Which I think many Jews do, even if they're not from. And I wanted to change the world. I wanted to lift up God consciousness. I didn't even know about if it was God, but I said spiritual consciousness.
You just knew something.
Spiritual
and you
consciousness.
Felt different.
I felt different. I want to make a difference. And then my brother started becoming more observant and I freaked out. And I thought he was joining a bit of a cult because he became so extreme. You know, I couldn't get hold of him Friday night. He wouldn't eat out at restaurants with me. And when he stopped touching women, I was like, okay, you've gone a little batty. And I better save you. I better rescue you from this extremist thing. Of course, he knew what he was doing and I didn't. And I went to Israel to explore it, but also to like see what he's involved with, thinking the psychologist big sister should rescue him from a cult type. A little bit, there was a little bit of part of me that was like that. But I also knew I was ignorant and I made a decision to go and really explore it and really ask the tough questions. Why do we do this? What is this? You know.
Right.
So I took on the rabbis and I ended up at Neve Yerushalayim, which was really life-changing for me, and learned by some of the best teachers, Rabbi Kellerman, people like this, and was there for 5 years, which is not typical. I was 30.
Wow.
I showed up at 30.
At 30 years old.
At 30 years old, there was a pivotal moment and numerous moments where I was questioning and I realized I had to go to Israel to explore it for a couple months. And then I went for a couple months, and after exploring it for a couple months, I was like, I need to come back here. I'm 30 years old and I have no idea what it really means to be a Jewish woman. And I went back and packed up my life, which was a peaking career.
Oh my gosh.
Peaking. I was on the Today Show, which was this the same as here. We copy you with everything, basically.
Yeah.
And I was the resident psych on the show, and my career was peaking. I'd been on it for 2 years already. I was like really building a career. And I said, I'm out of here. And they're like, you are crazy.
You are crazy.
And I was like, I think part of me is crazy, but this is so out of character.
Yeah, there's no rational, it's not a rational decision.
Correct.
It's like a
pull.
Pull, exactly.
It was like a knowing, like
exactly.
I have to do this.
Yeah.
And I don't know where I got this deep feeling from because I don't have it in other areas of my life. But there I got this deep feeling, like an emunah pshuta.
Yeah.
If you do something for the right reason and for the higher truth, it will never come back to bite you. It will only end up in blessing. And I had this very strong feeling about that, which I don't have in every other area of my life. I don't know where I got that from. Maybe Skusava somehow.
Your higher self.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
And I went, but there were moments I thought freaking out, like, what am I doing? What am I doing? And so I show up at Neve at 30 years of age. And I'm around 20-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds, and mostly, early 20s. And so I felt like a geriatric. We had the geriatric club of a group of us. Hi, Jerry's. A group of us, we're still friends, a lot of us.
Yeah.
We're in our 30s that were there, and we'd go out for dinner like every couple of weeks and say, like, Mommy needs some adult time. Like, we felt like really old. And
that's hysterical.
It was very humbling, actually. It was very humbling to step away from the things I'd identified as myself. I was the Today Show psychologist, and every time I walked into a room and said what I did, because that's normal, what do you do is the first question often socially, I saw people's face change. Like, oh. So it became my identity, and I didn't know who the heck I was without that. And when I went to Neve, I stepped out of all of that. I didn't realize really what would happen to me, but it was really scary. Really, like, who the heck am I?
Shattering everything.
Shattering everything. But I didn't know that was going to happen in that way, but that's what happened.
Wow.
And it was the best thing that ever happened to me, because I got years and years of building from the inside out again. And I'm sitting there in class with 20-year-olds, and I'm trying to read alphabet, and I can't read alphabet, really.
That is very humbling.
Very humbling. I'm going to the Macaulay and going,
you're like, no, everyone, this is not me.
Oh my gosh, it's cornflakes. Like, I couldn't even read the cereal box, like, it was so humbling.
Wow.
It was so humbling, but I really needed it. And and that really allowed me to build from the inside out. And it's a constant building, obviously.
It's so funny that you're saying this, because just this morning I was just thinking, like, I had like a flashback, and I was driving my son to school, and I'm in the car, and I'm just thinking about like a few years ago, and I'm like, wow, like a few years ago when I was selling paintings only, like every single painting I sold, every single print I sold, every single everything that, like, that became my identity. Like, I would look at the numbers.
Yes.
I looked at how much I made, and like I got so down if the numbers weren't a certain number for the month, because that, at the end of the day, that was a reflection of who I was. And like I was just having a flashback. I'm like, who was that girl? Like, she's so not here anymore.
Wow.
I couldn't care less.
Beautiful.
I was just, I'm so, like, it's not that I'm past it. It's just like, now I'm like, as long as we keep the lights on and like, it's good. Like, I don't care. Like, it's just, thank God I've really evolved.
With social media. That's
social
was
media
your version
for
of social
sure.
right,
Oh, social media, I had my own
meaning
story
how many
there.
likes, who liked my post.
Yeah.
But
That's
really what we're talking about, I think,
game.
is an internal definition of self.
Exactly.
And not defining yourself by external things.
Right. And once I hit burnout and it was just too overwhelming, because when, like you said, when you're doing something from the truest intention, Hashem gives you the strength and opens the way. But I feel like a part of me was doing it for the truest intentions, but also for self-identity. And when you have that, you can't hold it. It's too heavy. So eventually it all fell apart. And it fell apart inside. And I hit such burnout. I was like, I don't care about anything anymore.
Right.
I don't care about it. I don't want to look at it. I don't care. And then I had to, like what you said, shatter it all out.
Yes.
And then rebirth and reform. And still, in the end of the day, do the same thing, but coming from a whole different energy.
Yes. Well, it's a true connection to your essence.
Exactly.
And that's the biggest gift.
Yeah.
And I think that for women, it's very hard to not be defined externally, and all the people pleasers out there, right? All the people pleasers, like, that's what this is. People pleasers is I need other people's validation and approval to feel okay, because I'm identifying myself with what they reflect back. And really, we're good, lovable, and worthy no matter what.
Exactly.
And we have to find that out. And sometimes Hashem shadows us, or we do it to ourselves by choice because we see that there's something not right. It's the biggest gift, but in the moment it feels like death. Yeah. Because there's a part of us dying, which is that ego attachment.
It's an ego. Yeah.
To something else, right? Which is not me. And so if someone's going through that and watching this podcast, whenever someone's watching this podcast and you're going through that, know that it's rebuilding. It's rebuilding you, and it's a good thing. And it doesn't feel good in the moment, but it's a process. And, and
shattering that vessel.
There's nothing more liberating.
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
Because now you don't care so much what other people think.
Totally
I don't care so much what people think, and a job doesn't define me. And it's like we have many, many different kochos and potentials to express in this world at different times in our life. Now I'm a mother, and so it's like a whole different world.
How old's your baby?
8.5 months.
So sweet.
Just said mama last week.
Aww.
There is no deeper joy in the world that I've experienced.
That's amazing.
That ever. No one warned me about the joy.
Wow.
No
That's
one
so
warned me about the
special.
joy. And every single time, mama,
Oh,
mama.
that's
Like,
heaven.
it's just heaven. And she's just delicious.
Does she give you kisses?
Not yet. We're just
Not
teaching her
yet.
kisses.
Okay,
She just started
that's
waving
also
like the
heaven.
queen. Started waving like
It's
the
so
queen.
cute.
Like this. Oh my
I
gosh.
love that.
It's absolutely
Once
delicious.
she gives kisses, it's beyond. It's
It's
like, it's
beyond.
not from this world.
Yeah, I've never experienced this. You know, I've had a lot of sort of responsibility and obligation in my life, but it's not the same because you don't get the love back in the same way.
Right.
You know, and it's
Yeah, it's
it's
free
just,
love.
It's just this deep bond. And what I realized having a baby is I appreciate Hashem's position, which I could never have done before. So as I'm doing things for my baby,
Right.
and she's getting impatient, I'm warming the milk and she's like, and she wants the milk. And then when I give her the milk, she's this huge relief, right?
Yeah.
And then literally 3 hours later, she's impatient again, like urgently panicking. And I keep telling her, Ariella, I'm warming the milk. I'm warming the milk.
Yeah.
And she doesn't realize. And then
I love that analogy.
And then all of a sudden I say, oh my gosh, I do this all the time with Hashem. I'm constantly, why are you not, Hashem, how can you do this to me? Why am I not getting this or that? Why? And all of a sudden he gives the answer and you feel so loved and so great. And then a day or two, a week later, a month later, you forget
Same.
again.
You're hungry.
Same
It's
thing.
so funny. The same exact thing happened when my third was a baby. So he's turning 10 in a few days. Same thing. Actually, at 1 year old, he did have some sort of stomach thing. So I didn't know that at the time. He really wasn't okay, but he wasn't feeling well. But the point is that he was the easiest, breeziest baby. And then there was like a few nights when he was crying and he wouldn't go to sleep. And I was just like, I'm not gonna I wanna train him. I wanna help him fall asleep. I don't wanna, and I didn't know at the time, but he really wasn't feeling well. I should have held him. But anyway, whatever. The point is
Don't
that
beat yourself up.
I know
She's beating herself up.
he's turning 10 now. But I was standing outside his room and I remember thinking like, okay, if you cry one more time, I'm gonna go in. And like I was thinking of that with us and Hashem. Like Hashem's like, just call me one more time. Like just daven one more time and I'll come. Like we don't realize how close we are. Like we're right there. Just one more time, you know?
We
like
think
we
Hashem's
give
not
up.
with us, right.
Right. We give up too fast.
Right.
I don't know. It was just like such a moment
You
for
have
me.
that moment.
Yeah.
That Hashem's standing right there.
Yeah. He's
Wants us to
always
cry
right
out.
there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I see that Hashem's so wise in creating the path of motherhood as well as experiencing that and appreciating our relationship with Hashem. And, you know, even when she has the passy in and I'm trying to pull the passy out because I have the milk and she will not let go of the passy. I'm like, no, you really want this
Yes.
milk. No,
It's
I want
better
to
for
hold on
you.
to my comforts.
Yeah.
We do the same thing.
We do the
Hashem
same
might
thing.
rip out something from our life that is not good for us and we like feel freaked out. But really something better is waiting, but we
I
don't
love
know
that.
that.
I love that.
There was so many analogies. Maybe because I'm older and I'm having a baby.
Yeah.
It's a different stage in life.
And you're looking at it from that perspective.
Right.
You
Because
know?
I'm just so grateful because that just was such a miracle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And you also help, you're also a coach, right?
Yes, I'm a
Yeah.
psychologist and a coach now.
Uh-huh.
And I work somatically. I'm very passionate about teaching people how to tune into their body, which is where our feelings are. Feelings are in the body. And to be able to process and relate to those feelings differently than what you're normally used to.
I saw a quote. It said like, when you're going out of your mind, go into your body.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I love that. Exactly. Because people keep spinning around in their mind, thinking their mind is what's going to give them the answers. Why do I do this? I've got to understand it. Even once you understand and analyze, that doesn't change how you feel. They're totally different faculties. They have to work together. So the subconscious part of the mind, which is the part we're not aware of and the part that stores up all of our experiences in life and our belief systems and our emotional feelings and all sorts of things from the whole of our childhood, will express through the body. That's what people don't realize. Meaning,
Like how will it express
So for
through the body?
example, you have to have a tough conversation with someone and you're freaking out, right? Because you don't really want to have it and you're just freaking out. You get a knot in your stomach or dread every single time you have to do something that is maybe asking for what you want or asking for what your needs are, right? Again, people pleasers find this very hard. And so if you went in and spoke to that feeling in the body, whether it's your stomach drops or a feeling of dread or a knot or a tightness, and you went and spoke to that with your attention on that part of the body, you would find out information about what that part of the body is so scared of that's very different to what you might think. Like you might be arguing, what's wrong with me? It's just a conversation. It's going to be fine. I'm going to say this. And your intellectual level is telling you all sorts of things, but your body is a whole different reality. And once you speak to the body and find out what is the root of this feeling, where is it coming from? Why does this play out in all my relationships this way? Certain patterns we all have that we keep playing out over and over again. And they keep like knee-jerk reactions that we can't stop, even though we know we don't want to be doing that and we don't want to be reacting that way. They're called triggers, right? So triggers are like when something in the environment presses a big fat wound or button inside our subconscious that's expressed through their sensations, and we have a major emotional charge of some sort. It could be anger, it could be shutdown, it could be sadness, it could be rejection, it could be betrayal, it could be disappointment, it could be dread, whatever it is, doesn't matter.
It could be feeling tired.
Anything,
Yeah.
right? Suddenly you feel tired, you don't know why. And so when we want to speak to those sensations in the body, they will tell us if you could speak. If you say, if you could speak right now, what would you say? And you actually take your consciousness, your attention into that part of the body and see the first thing that pops up in your brain as soon as you take your attention into the body.
That's so interesting.
That first phrase, the first one without analysis, no thinking, will often be a reflection of what's going on, and people get shocked at what pops up.
That's so interesting. I never did that.
This is the basis of somatic psychotherapy.
No, somatics I heard, but just going into the body and asking the actual body part a question, I have never done that.
It's liberating and it's eye-opening.
I find that a lot of times with everything, like the first thing that you say is usually the thing that,
right.
People are like, oh, why did I say that? Because it's you.
Because that's what's in there.
Yeah, because that's what came out.
You didn't edit it.
Right.
Out.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the subconscious part of the mind will guide and drive over 80% of our knee-jerk reactions, which is extremely high.
I know. I see on your stories you tell people a lot of times about their blockages.
Yeah,
like
we all have blockages. Tikkun, that's what tikkun is. Tikkun, now it's our soul correction, is the fixing of some of those blockages. The blockages are patterns that we keep falling into, habits and patterns that we're reflecting on and reviewing throughout the year and trying to correct, particularly now in the time of before Yom Kippur. But they're patterns that Hashem wants us to wrestle with. The biggest problem with growth and healing that I see across the board as an epidemic in the Jewish world particularly is the judgment, the judgmentalness that people have on themselves and each other.
Right.
Literally stops growth and healing and transformation, and even stops tshuva. Because if you're
tshuva is returning.
Correct. So if you're so busy judging yourself for what you're seeing inside yourself, and you're so busy criticizing and annihilating yourself for it, like feeling bad, really bad, not bad, regret. Regret's good. Regret means I wish I didn't have the distance there. Feeling bad means I'm ashamed that I'm a bad person.
And usually when we judge other people, it's usually it's a mirror back to ourselves.
Exactly.
So in the end of the day, we are judgmental with others, but that's just a deeper meaning that we're just judgmental with ourselves.
Exactly. Right. We don't see things the way they are. We see things the way we are.
Right. And
so we have
if someone's triggering you, it's usually a pathway back to yourself.
Exactly. But you have to have the humility to see it, but not the shame and judgmentalness.
We do have a lot of shame in this.
Correct.
Even something stupid like my husband went on ADHD medication a few years ago, and he was on Adderall and he lost a lot of weight. And my mother was like to him, "Wow, you lost so much weight." And he was like, "Yeah, I'm on Adderall." She's like, "What?" I'm like, "Ima, it's ADHD medication." She's like, "Yeah, Ellie, don't say that out loud." I'm like, "What's the big deal? Like, it's okay, Like, we have to stop the stigma and the shame, or else we're all just gonna be so stuck. Like, who does that benefit?"
We really do, and it is such a judgment. Like, there's this pressure to be perfect. I mean, maybe it's for shidduchim because I work with a lot with singles.
Oh, it is for shidduchim.
But that is so.
Someone reached out to me and told me, she's like, Yaeli, I'm so proud. I'm so impressed that you're so real. But aren't you nervous about shidduchim? And I'm like, honestly, I never thought about it until this second. I'm like, but no, not.
Right. So the shidduchim
That's
and the fear of the judgment around shidduchim means that we have to put up this perfect image, which all it is an image. No one is perfect. No one doesn't have issues. And it's really just a lack of bitachon.
Yeah.
It's just a lack of bitachon that Hashem can't find me one person. I always say to my singles, particularly ones who do have issues, different issues, all various issues, from physical health to some mental health to whatever it is, family issues.
Well, you know, on Shabbos in shul, we were just talking, and one lady said no to a shidduch because the girl was on Ozempic. I'm like, honey, that's the easiest medication that someone's on.
I know.
Like, it's just the top of the, you know, like, there's so many more, and it's nothing. We're like,
Exactly.
don't do that.
Right. So I tell my girls that I work with, treat it like a filter. If someone's judging you, that's just a filter. They're not for you. Your husband will think you're amazing. Your husband will think you are amazing for the journey that you've been on. Treat it like a filter. And I had someone with quite a physical defect, actually, who was terrified the whole dating. And she came back to me happily engaged, and she said, you were so right. He doesn't care at all.
No.
And I'm like, exactly. Because your husband won't care. So if someone cares, it just means it's a filter.
Right.
So just let it filter them out.
Right.
You don't have to feel bad. Your husband will only admire or not care at all.
Even hearing that makes me feel so calm.
Yeah.
Like, you just really walk with God if you have that mentality.
Correct.
You know, like you could just let go.
We're meant to let go. We're meant to just let go and accept that Hashem has a plan. And that's the problem, is that people...
But then people get very tripped up with the letting go and the hishtadlus piece. So what do you have to say on that?
So I once asked one of my rabbis this question, Rabbi Kellerman. It was great. I said, how much hishtadlus do you do? And he said, you do as much hishtadlus as a good atheist would. For whatever it is, whether you're going for a job interview, whether you're putting your kids in school, whether you're dating, how much effort would a normal atheist do that's a busy person? You wouldn't do it all day, every day. You would say that's too much effort. So you put in the way of the world a natural amount of effort to do it. You know, to obviously do dating, you would contact some people every week.
Right.
But then you let go of the outcome. The outcome's not up to us. We're meant to put in the effort. We're meant to let go of the outcome.
Right.
The effort is directly proportionate with your level of bitachon, of trust.
Right.
But you can't fake it.
No.
And
it will bounce right back.
Correct. So you can't fake it. So you have to say, okay, I've got to keep building my trust and working on my trust in God. But at the same time, I have to keep doing my effort, whatever that effort is. And effort does not have to be degrading. It does not have to be so draining. So if there's some particular type of effort, no matter what it is really draining, and you feel undignified, you don't have to do that to yourself.
No, then that's not effort anymore.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you just have to put in some effort and trust Hashem as a plan, and trust Hashem is, now sometimes that's harder. It's easier said than done if the wait is a long time, which I waited a long time.
How long?
Got married at 44.
Wow.
And it was a very long time. My husband was not even available, not single for most of the time I was dating.
Wow.
So all those well-meaning people who told me all the sorts of things that were wrong with me about what I need to fix in myself in order to get married, which deeply puts in the feeling that there is something wrong with you.
And so much shame.
So much shame.
Right.
Which I brought into.
It comes back to you, not Hashem.
Correct. It doesn't mean I didn't have what to work on. I did, and I am working on stuff still. But
am I.
You're right. But that wasn't what was going on. That my husband had to get divorced, and he did. And then there was a couple of years he had to get his life in order, and then we met. So I mean,
he was living here too.
He was living in LA, and I was here in New York in the 5 towns.
Right.
And so he flew in to meet me, which as every man should.
Yes.
And ideally, and it was just clear from the beginning. Clear.
Wow.
Super clear.
Yeah. When
bizarre.
You know, you know.
It was bizarre. Sometimes, if you know is a dangerous phrase to say, because if people aren't connected in themselves, they won't know.
I knew from the first. That's what I'm saying, because I knew from the first minute.
Because you were connected.
I was just like, if he's good, I'm good. Like,
wow.
Yeah. But I didn't tell anyone because I didn't want to be a loser.
That was right. You kept it quiet.
Yeah.
Right. What's hidden is
so
blessed.
Cool.
What's hidden is blessed.
Yeah. I don't care. I'm good.
My phrase is, your soulmate feels like home, not Hollywood. But if you're not home,
yeah, totally home.
But if you're not home,
cozy sweatshirt home.
Cozy sweatshirt home. But if you're not home in yourself,
yes,
then
you
won't
know.
At home.
I hear that.
So that's what
that's a good differentiator. I like that.
I help women feel at home in themselves.
I love
that's a nice phrase. What I do. Feel at home in yourself. You're going to be with yourself for a long time.
Yeah.
Eternity.
Totally.
So you might as well feel at home in yourself.
I teach that to my kids also. Like, I give them themselves their responsibility, because at the end of the day, I just told my son last week, I'm like, you're living in you forever. I'm not living in you.
That's nice. I like that you said that. He's 10?
He's 14.
He's 14. Still, that's great.
I'm like, it's your life. Like, don't put your life back on me, because then it ends up causing a lot of resentment.
Yeah.
And so much imbalance of power and responsibility. Like, it's yours. Enjoy all of it,
Right.
But wow, that's very, very cool. I love that you do that for women.
And part of that is learning how to deal with those feelings, those big feelings that I don't know what to do with. And judging those feelings keep them stuck. So then we take away the judgment. We go in with compassionate curiosity. Isn't this interesting? I feel this way. Let me know more about that. I want to be curious about it, not judgmental. I'm bad for having this feeling or having this thought or having this reaction. That's interesting. That's what Hashem wants me to work on. People say, I don't know what meant to work on. Work on the problem areas. Work on your pain points. Work on what you're wrestling with, your conflicts are. Where are the biggest conflicts in your life?
Right.
That's what Hashem wants you to work on. It's not a mistake.
I know, and we're
if I just
human.
fix that, then I'm going to be fine. No, that's what you're meant to be working on this lifetime.
Right. That's what your soul came into.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so don't feel bad about it. Say, grab it and say, okay, what do I need to do to work with this? And,
I know.
And it feels different if you let yourself be flawed. Let yourself be flawed.
I know, we're all just human in the end of the day. I always think that, like, we're just human. Like, what are we trying to be, you know?
Well, I think that's a good question you bring up, because we have the Torah, which is Baruch Hashem. We have the Torah, which is this amazing, amazing gift, this ideal blueprint of life. That's what the Torah is. But what we do with that is we then guilt trip ourselves when we're not living up to the ideal. When we're not doing what we know is the ideal, we then react to that in a way that shuts us down, or we pretend that we're not.
But in the end of the day, by doing that, we're missing the forest for the trees.
Correct.
Because the Torah is just a blueprint. It's really supposed to be a map.
Lifelong goal. Exactly. A lifelong map. Exactly.
Yeah, it's a map for us to be able to live our best life.
Right.
You know, but if we're so ashamed that we're not, then we can never even walk towards that.
Correct. That's exactly what I'm saying. It keeps us stuck.
Yeah.
So you have the ideal, but now you have to connect with the real. Like, where am I really at, and what's the next step in the direction of the ideal?
Yeah.
Rather than let me just try to be the ideal all the time.
I always say that. Like, Hashem first he wants you to be happy. Like, he wants you to be good within yourself.
Right.
You know, like. I always think that even like with Yontif and Shabbos, like you see sometimes like, I don't know, it could be stressful and like there's a lot going on and it gets like very busy and everyone's rushing and hustling and bustling. And I'm like, okay, wait, like this is not what Hashem wants. Like He doesn't want us to miss the forest for the trees. He wants peace. He wants us to come back to wholeness, to ourselves. Connection. If that means that we're going to do less and whatever, cook a little less, whatever it is, just come back to yourself. Like that's the whole point.
Right. Buy the dips.
Yeah.
Buy the dips. Don't do the tablescapes.
Don't fight with each other. What?
Have you heard of tablescapes?
Yes, of course.
I just found out about this the other day.
Really?
And I'm like, there's a whole world that I don't know about called tablescapes. I'm so glad I don't know about that world, because I would totally pressure myself to have to do that.
Funny.
I'm like, no. Don't do tablescapes if it doesn't light you up, if it doesn't energize you.
I know, that's what I was saying.
You're an artist, so you probably love it.
Yeah, I love it.
The table
I was just saying this to someone else. I said, like, if you love it, if it's fun for you, if you enjoy cooking those 7 courses, then go for it, because that gives you that chiyus. That is your tafkid. It's part of what you're supposed to be, your soul's supposed to be doing. But if it's not, don't. Cut it out. Do less. Do less.
Keeping up with the Joneses or the Schwartzes, I should say.
It's back to the perfection also.
I know. I'm a reformed perfectionist, I must say, as well. People pleaser and that's a bad combo.
That makes a lot of sense, though.
But I think between the people pleasers, which you want to do it because everyone else is doing it and you want them to think well of you, and the perfectionists, I've got to do it because that's got to be perfect and I've got to do it perfectly, there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of nonsense that's there that takes you out of yourself, that doesn't allow you to feel at home.
Right.
And we really want to come home.
Come home, come to center, just prioritize every day, like grounding. I love doing that, like waking up and being like, okay, my first number one goal is to feel good inside. And when you feel good, when I'm calm, then everything else gets nourished.
To everyone else.
Right.
So people, again, I want to bring this up again, that there's a myth in the Jewish world that if I focus on myself, it's selfish.
Yes.
and it's not.
Because I say, right, Yemena Nili Mili, and then it's like, but you forgot the second part. But Be'ima Nili Mili came first.
Correct.
There's a reason why it came first.
Love others as I love myself.
Right.
So it means you have to
need to have
here.
the vessel first. And it has to be whole, and you have to, close up. I always say, like, we have to clog up the little holes. We all have like leaky holes. Like, first you got to do that so that Hashem could pour in, so that we could pour out. But if it has holes, and we're always just like doing for others and feeling guilty and doing chesed and whatever, running around, we can't pour out. There's no more. There's
Correct.
resentment. There's
Exactly.
anger. There's bitterness. There's
And you can't
so
connect
many
to
things.
Hashem when you're clogged up with your own stuff. You know, we even have a phrase that she's so full of herself. So I'm full of the ego, right? Meaning I'm so full of myself, there's no room for Hashem. There's no room for others. And so we want to be able to let all of that go, which means...
Right, but what bothers people? I'm very curious. Like, really, what bothers someone if she's so full of herself? What is that?
They feel that, well, often it's a mirror, right, of my own ego, like you said before.
Yeah.
And also, there's no real connection. When someone's full of themselves, they're not really able to connect, because connection happens when you get out of yourself.
So that's like when someone's full of themselves, that's narcissistic, you're saying?
Right, as an extreme.
Extreme.
There's a continuum, obviously.
Right.
And we all have ego, but I'm saying
But I do feel that people who are very confident and totally comfortable with themselves are triggering for other people.
Interesting.
Yeah. Not as someone who's like so full of themselves that there's no room for anybody else.
You mean someone just comfortable with themselves?
Yeah.
So you have to see, they're probably jealous. It's probably a trigger of jealousy. You have to ask them I'd be curious to work with them. Like, what's the trigger, right? Because I do a surrender technique with people where whatever comes up, whatever feeling it is, we go right into the feeling, we ask it what it's about, and then we surrender to it. Surrender to the feeling, which is very different to surrender to Hashem. We meant to surrender to Hashem, of course, right? So we're very focused on Hashem.
Well, Hashem's also inside of us.
Yes,
so.
but this is different. This is our own reaction, and I'm going to, rather than resist the feeling, I'm going to surrender to it and allow it, which allows it to automatically shift and move.
Yes.
It feels very counterintuitive. You're like, I don't want to surrender to that feeling. That feeling's bad.
Right,
But if
but
we
by
actually
not looking at it, it's still there.
Correct, and it keeps it at
100%,
suppressed.
100%.
So most people, but I do what I call the Baruch Hashem syndrome, right? Baruch Hashem, my house on fire, Baruch Hashem.
I can't stand it.
Right, why? Because it's fake.
I can't. When we first got married, my husband did that. I wanted to smack him every time he said Baruch Hashem. I'm like, could you stop it? Like, enough, but it's conditioning.
It's conditioning.
Thank God, he's over that.
It's conditioning to just do it automatically, but people will do it with really serious
crazy things, yes.
Because why? Because they think they should, because it's the ideal to be grateful to Hashem for even your hardships, your nisyonos. And yes, that's true, but if you're not feeling that, you cannot jump and fake it. It's called suppression, and it just keeps you stuck.
You know what I find that is?
locked.
It's like somebody who doesn't shower but puts on perfume.
Ooh, I like that analogy. I really like that.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Exactly what it is.
That's why it drives people crazy.
Yes,
because it's not
because
real.
it's so fake.
Fake.
You feel it.
It's fake, right. And so we don't want to do that. We want to say it's okay to have anger. It's okay to have feelings. That's what it's going to process you towards the right place if you allow yourself to process it. And so that's surrender.
I feel that a lot with people on jealousy. They don't want to admit it, and it becomes like this like dark cloud or big elephant, and they just can't say that jealousy is just a human emotion.
Right.
It's such a primal feeling. Like
They're so busy shaming themselves.
Yeah, just look at it and just say, you know what? I'm human. It's okay.
Right.
This is an emotion. It can come and go. It's a wave.
Yes.
You know, I teach this to my kids too. It's such a normal part of life. We're living with other people.
Right.
It's going to come up.
And even deeper than that, it's like emotions don't define you. People think because I have this feeling, it means I'm bad.
Right,
No,
right.
The feeling is just a feeling. It
It's
doesn't
a wave.
define you. It's a wave.
It comes and goes.
Exactly. And it doesn't define us. We are much bigger than any feeling. And so once you acknowledge that, even to the feeling, and you say, it's okay for you to be here. Let's say jealousy. It's okay for you to be here, jealousy, inside of myself. It's okay that you're here. I'm okay no matter what. You can be here as long as you want, like I'm giving it full permission. No matter what, I'm okay, which feels counterintuitive, because what do you mean jealousy is not okay? Hashkafically, jealousy is not okay. But the problem we get into is that my hashkafa, my perspective, my intellect, my understanding of what the Torah wants, and my internal reality are not aligned. They're in conflict. So I'm not meant to feel, do not be jealous, but I feel jealous. So now what do? I'm going to pretend I don't feel jealous. Baruch Hashem, right? No, don't do that. Instead, go into the jealousy with your attention and go right into the center. Where do you feel that fiery jealousy, resentment, whatever it is, and say, it's okay for you to be here. It's okay. I get that I'm jealous. It's okay. It's just a feeling. And tell the jealousy, you can be here as long as you want. No matter what, I'm okay. I am somewhere else. I am bigger. I'm an neshama. I'm not just this jealousy. And so the jealousy can hang around as long as it wants. As soon as you give it real permission, it leaves.
Yes.
Or it shifts.
It shifts.
It shifts into something else. It might go into sadness. I'm really, I'm not just jealous of her. I'm really just sad that my life feels empty. And because my life feels empty now, I'm looking at other people who have stuff and I'm jealous of them.
Right. You can start really working on it and going inward.
Exactly. Once I really own my own feelings underneath the jealousy, now I can really work with that. Now I can surrender to the emptiness. Where do I feel that emptiness in my body? Oh, I feel a big hole in my stomach. So let me go into the hole in my stomach. Let me take my attention into the hole and let me tell the hole, the emptiness, you can be here as long as you want. No matter what, I'm okay. I am the neshama. I am much bigger than any individual feeling. And when I create that acceptance, it creates a keli, a vessel, for it to move on its own. You don't have to do anything. It will just start to move, and it will move into the next layer and the next layer and the next layer. And that's how we call processing. That's what processing is.
Right.
I'm processing myself. When
Right.
I don't have to run away or change or fix or alter my feeling in any way, I'm going to just be with it. I'm going to give it permission and accept it. That is most of the work I do with people. It seems easy. It's not, because we want to run away from the feelings. And the more people learn how to do it for themselves, the more life-changing it is, and the more free you are.
The more free you are, the happier world we'll have.
Oh my gosh, it's liberating.
It's so liberating.
And I'm really passionate about teaching this to the Jewish world.
Yeah.
Because it's so not the norm, and it's so
but
not
this is
condoned.
the answer. It's like people
Right.
message me all the time, like, can you give me the person who healed you? Can you tell me, do you have the therapist? Do you have a therapist? I'm like, I wish I can. I wish, like, there's no magic. You know, it's really just exactly what you're saying. It's going internal, whether it's talking to the actual body parts or just going internal and processing.
Yes, but I do feel most people need a guide at first. If they're
Oh,
not used to it,
100%.
they do need a therapist, a trained
100%,
therapist.
but what you're saying
someone
is
good.
exactly what it is. Like,
Yes.
you know, either you could do it on your own or go to somebody, which you're a perfect person. But I personally, you know, sat with myself and went through this for like a good 2
That's very
years.
unusual.
Yeah, I guess, but
Just
here I
because
am.
people don't know how to navigate at the beginning, but once they learn the method, I feel I can teach the method usually within 4 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's not the method, it's practicing the method with someone and giving them feedback and guidance, and then being really committed to saying, I'm going to do this. I need to regulate for my husband. I need to regulate for my children.
Yeah.
I need to be able to be my own parent.
Yeah, I went
Right?
to a therapist. I spoke to a talk therapist for a few years, like not consistently.
This is not talk therapy.
No, I know. Whenever
Okay.
I needed to, and I just felt like at a certain point, it wasn't doing anything for me. I was like, I
Right.
just want to know, like, why am I here? Not in a mean way. I just want to
Right.
know, like, what am I gaining? Like, what do I get out of this? And I was like, I think I just have to like sit with myself and like go internal and like just.
You're bringing up a very big Pandora's box that, like, I have a lot of strong feelings about.
Okay.
Which is the talk therapy modalities versus the deeper subconscious,
Yeah.
modalities. So talk therapy is useful for awareness. It's useful for insight. It's useful for having clarity about certain things, but it's only at the intellectual level.
Yes.
And that can only take you so far.
Right. And things are stuck. They get emotionally coded into the body.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
as we said before, the majority of our knee-jerk reactions where we want to feel differently are in the body, coming from a different part of the mind, from the subconscious. Sometimes with talk therapy, what can happen is you have an epiphany, you have a big aha that you didn't realize something that you get to with a therapist. And sometimes that's enough to get the consciousness for it to change. So that's why there is change available there. It's just very slow and it's not guaranteed. And a majority of my women that come to me will say, Jackie, I've been in therapy. I know what my issues are, my main ones. I know why they're there.
I know what my issues are. I know what my answers are.
I know where they come from. And I just
Right.
can't change how I feel.
Exactly. And there's still blockages and there's still the same patterns.
Same patterns and blockages. But I
Right.
know a lot about it, which is
Right.
good. It's not bad.
And
It's
once you
limiting.
heal, so it all goes together.
Yes.
The unhealing, the healing of our traumas and our blocks, and then we can release the pipes and, take out all the hair that's stuck in the pipe so that Hashem's shefa can pour through
Right.
and we can manifest properly. Right? That's what it basically all comes down to.
We can receive from Hashem.
We can receive,
We
right.
can receive.
We can
be
elevate.
connected. The goal is to be connected to Hashem. There's nothing more joyful than feeling really, really connected to Hashem and feeling like He's got your back and feeling like He's guiding your life and feeling like you're in your mommy or tati's arms and that we can walk through life calm most of the time. Who definitely test us at our level. But there's nothing better. There's no greater joy than that.
Yeah, so I just want to talk about this actual manifesting topic for the topic because people have a hard time with it. But everything you're saying now is manifesting essentially. So what do you have to say about it?
I don't know if you want me to go there.
Why?
Because I have really been studying this and asking and looking and searching, there's a place where Hashem gives us power to create our reality based on how we respond to life, right? How we react, how we respond. We are where our thoughts are, all of that. So we have power to definitely change our reality, even when the circumstance doesn't change, right? How we respond and how we feel and how we move through our life is up to us. At the same time, there is power in the sense of being open to receiving, right? Like if someone is not open to receiving something and Hashem wants to give it to you, it's going to be very hard to receive that thing if you're really not open to it. We have power. Hashem gives us power to be a partner with him. So a lot of my work, say with singles, will be let's really make sure that you're open on the deepest levels to receiving an incredible relationship with a man. Let's make sure you're not scared of intimacy, you're not scared of rejection, there's a lot of genuine, valid fears. A lot of singles have those, by the way, running under the surface.
Yeah.
And married women have it also in marriage. There might be a certain level of intimacy they're not willing to have.
Yeah, I had it with money.
Money, whatever it is. Let's look at the deeper fears and let's make sure that we clear them, because that's my part, is to clear them to become a keli, a vessel to receive from Hashem. And then when we do that, sometimes miracles happen. I have two women in my course right now that met their husbands in the middle of the course as soon as they shifted. I mean, it literally seems like magic.
Yeah.
It seems like manifesting.
It's
not.
No, I know,
it's
but
not
it's instant.
manifesting.
It
What
can
they
be
did
instant.
was they cleared out their vessel. Everything else obviously was aligned. They didn't know that. But the rest of my girls that are women that are doing this, they didn't meet their husbands yet, but they feel amazing. They feel secure. They feel open. And so they said it's worth everything, because they want to be like that anyway, as a wife, as a mother in the future. It's important to feel solid and good in yourself.
Yeah.
And you can't date if you're not like that.
Right.
So that's different to, I'm going to do this formula that we're going to call manifesting, and I'm going to manipulate God to give me what I want, regardless of whether it's really good for me or not. Let's say $1 million or otherwise. Also, you see that it doesn't work that well, because as in you can't just trick God and manipulate God, because otherwise everyone will be walking around millionaires. Everyone will be walking around married.
But also everything, like you said, comes back to balance. So if it's not good for you, or if it's not something that you really want or whatever, it will all balance itself out. You'll lose the money. You'll owe somebody.
God is running the show, not us. And the danger with manifesting, the manifesting craze, is that it makes me feel like God. It makes me feel like I can manifest whatever I want in my life. I'm in control. If I just do this, this, and this, then it's going to manipulate God to give it to me. And even there are wonderful, holy people that quote sources on this. But if you don't have a Masorah, if you don't have a Rav and a Rav and a Rav, and know how, like other Rabbonim talking like this, has any famous Rabbonim talked like this in our history ever, that we can just manifest? Where is it? Where is it that they manifest? We don't use that language. There's an overlap of power, for sure, that Hashem gives us.
There's a co-creation.
There's a co-creation. There's a clearing of our vessel. There's a trust, a betachon in Hashem. When I throw my reliance on Hashem,
it's all about that.
Hashem wants to come through for me, but there may be times he says no.
Right.
And we have to accept that.
Or something better.
Emunah is not a formula to get what I want. I'm very nervous about this whole craze being that even emunah, it's emunah. If I just do emunah right, then I'll get what I want. So let's just swap out manifesting for emunah. And I'm going to, do you hear the subtlety? I'm not God. God's God. I just crowned him king. Like, he's in charge, not me. I can tell him what I want, and he loves me, and he wants to give it to me.
I hear you.
He wants to give to me like a parent, but often a parent says no.
I hear you, but I feel like a lot of times people, they throw too much onto God and say like, oh, whatever Hashem wants, I want, so they don't give themselves enough credit.
That's the Baruch Hashem syndrome. Okay. That's the suppression of self.
Okay.
That's I'm not going to acknowledge what I want. You're right. That is a problem, but it's a different problem.
We do this.
We do this. We
in
suppress
our
what
religion
we want.
a lot.
Whatever you want.
There's a release of self. There is no desire. Desire is to be alive. Desire is to be human.
And to want.
Right.
You're allowed to want. Not only that, there's another whole myth. I'm going to go into a different rant. There's another whole myth that because of this desire to be always doing chesed, right? There's a huge desire to do chesed because that's the value. It's not bad. It's good. The chesed's wonderful. But in dating, it's a disaster. Why? Because what are the women doing? They want to always give whatever you want. I don't have a self. I don't want to have wants and needs. I want to do whatever you want. I'm going to be easygoing, which is really a people pleaser in disguise. And in order for the masculine feminine flow to happen, whether it's dating or marriage, The woman needs to be a receiver. The woman needs to be a makabel. That is so foreign to these women. What do you mean? That feels selfish. I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to. But what do you mean? A healthy man feels his best when he's making a woman happy,
right.
whether it's a date or a marriage. If you don't tell him what's going to make you happy, genuinely, he can't truly make you happy and he won't feel good about himself.
Right.
So the very thing, he'll feel it. He'll feel like, you know, they go on a date, everything's nicey nice, and come back and they say, nice lady, just didn't feel a connection. Why didn't he feel a connection? Because he wasn't able to give to you and you weren't able to receive it and then reflect it back, right? That masculine, feminine, mashpia, makabel flow is very, very important, even in dating. And so women don't let themselves receive even a compliment. How do you receive a compliment? Even if you say thank you on the surface, do you deflect it internally? Do you let it in truly to make you feel good? Do you allow yourself to feel pleasure? Do you let if your husband gives you something and it's not exactly what you want, but you see his energy and his intention was good and kind, do you let it in to let yourself feel loved by it? Or do you say, focus on what it wasn't? But you didn't do it this way, right? Like we've been trained on some level to be so giving that we don't know how to receive. We haven't trained ourselves how to receive, but receiving is the biggest gift you could give your man, right? Because he feels amazing when his woman's happy. A healthy man will feel amazing when his woman's happy, even his date. If you say to your date, this was the best choice of restaurant, this is amazing. If it's genuine, he's going to feel $1 million after that date.
That's such a good point.
And women are trained to be givers. And you know what happens? It's disastrous. They become the mommy.
Yes.
And then they get resentful. So don't become the mommy. Have faith in your man. Don't
That's
tell him.
That's literally everyone in our generation.
I know. It's a terrible disaster because the men get infantilized or emasculated, and then they become like little boys, and they start treating us like little boys because we've mothered them. This was something I very much have to work on and very much have been conscious about and working with. And, you know, the polarity of masculine and feminine is what creates attraction.
There's always polarity. So if someone's sitting in one spot, automatically someone will sit in the other spot.
If we start being like a mommy,
yes.
taking care of him like a little boy, making his lunch, doing everything for him, correcting him,
I had
doing
to learn
it better.
that the hard way.
Everyone had to learn.
Because in the end of the day, we enjoy it. Like there's it fills us up in a certain way. There's a certain part of it that gives us something. It makes you feel validated. It makes you feel special in the bad way. Yeah, like it makes you feel
needed.
Yeah, needed. Thank you.
So if we feel needed,
but then it goes back to the not having. I'm sorry to cut you off, but not having the truest self. Because end of the day, we don't really need that root if we're so good with who we are, right? Like what you're saying. And you're not a people pleaser, then you don't need to feel. It comes from an insecure place.
I want to feel needed, so I feel important or in control. It's also control. And all of those things come from fear, rather than I'm going to let myself receive and be taken care of.
Right.
And I know that if someone's in the wrong flow, then it's hard to just stop that and think he's going to change.
No,
you have to talk about it a little bit.
Yeah,
and you have to talk about it and say, you know what, it's a process. And both people, it's even better when both are involved. But even if your husband's not involved and you start to shift how you respond to him, he will change.
Totally.
100%.
I've had that firsthand where I felt like I told this to my husband. I told it to him. I said, I feel like we're like on a canoe and we're going down the river. And we might hit a waterfall, we might not, I don't know, but I'm done paddling. Like, I'm
nice.
I'm done. Yeah.
Nice.
He's like, so can we? I'm like, no, there's no we. There's you. You can pick up the paddles. It's like, no, but like, we should really do. I'm like, no. Like, you need to take control now. Like, I'm done.
And he could do it.
Yeah. No, it was a process. It was like a 2-year process.
Right.
But like, yeah, there's a certain point where I couldn't do it anymore.
Right. It's exhausting.
It's exhausting.
And women don't want to do it. They want to be freed up to be connected internally and be able to
And I do go there. I do go there from time to time because it's so, I'm a strong woman and it's so natural for me.
Yeah,
and I know what to do and I know how to do it. And there's also the control and there's the backstory and there's the trauma and the childhood and
Right.
And I'm the oldest and he's the oldest, whatever. But like, I could go there easily.
Right.
But I have to just like remember. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's fine.
But that's amazing that you can see that, and that when you start to shift and put the relationship first. I want the connection to be first.
Yeah.
Not the being right or the control or the
or the outcome. Nothing matters.
Right. That's the shift.
Yeah.
And then being able to feel worthy of receiving love and worthy of receiving which I think is self-worth is a big issue as well. But I just
It's
want to
huge.
say that this issue of being a giver,
Yes.
and I always want to be a giver, which means I don't become a receiver in marriage and dating, is not good. It's not healthy. We need to change it. We need to give women permission to shift into that receiver. It doesn't mean you give up being powerful and strong and whatever.
It's from a different intention.
It's a different mode. It's like flipping. I'm going on a date. I'm going to be in my receiver mode.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you're passive.
No, absolutely
Not passive.
not.
It's receiving and reflecting back. Just like the sun radiates from itself, the moon absorbs the sun's light and reflects it back. So too the rain comes down, the masculine. Mother Earth is the feminine, absorbs the rain and sprouts vegetation. It's a very active role, but it waits for the initiator.
Yeah.
And then absorbs and receives, just like man gives to woman, woman receives in the womb, and then
It's
she
the
bears a child.
absorbing that's the truest
The
part.
absorbing, the
Yeah.
receiving. And
Yeah.
we feel, a lot of women feel guilty, feel bad, feel a burden doing that. But they don't. But they really need to start reassessing and relooking at that as a different. It's different. It's not taking. There's
Right.
a difference between receiving and taking.
I think this is a big tikkun for everyone in our generation.
I agree.
Is like really releasing the guilt and being so okay with just being. And
Yes.
yeah, like
And I
you're good
guess
because you are.
It's funny you're saying that now. It's just coming to my mind. That maybe connects us back full circle to the manifesting conversation. Because on some level, what doesn't sit right with me with the manifesting is on some level, I'm trying to take control of my life in the sense of like making things happen. I'm not sitting receiving, waiting to receive from Hashem and surrendering. I'm trying to take control. I'm trying to make things happen. I'm trying to use a formula to get Hashem to give me what I want. Rather than I really just trust Hashem knows what he's doing. I can tell Hashem what I want. I can be open to really receiving it. I can surrender the outcome to Hashem. I can do my ishtalas. I can make sure that I can really visualize and feel myself receiving that thing and make sure I'm not blocked. All those things are good. And all those things will have a power in a way to seemingly draw it to us because Hashem wants to give us a lot of things.
I think at the end of the day, you're
just
saying
can't
it's
be
like
everything.
just we have to release the blockages so that we can be open to receive.
Yes, which is different to I'm manifesting. Do you hear the difference? I'm going to create
Well,
this.
you're making it sound like kochi v'otzam yadi. Like this is I'm making this happen.
Right. Which is
Yeah,
the non-Jewish
my
path
power.
of that.
Right.
That is the non-Jewish path.
Right.
And I think we have to be very careful as Jews.
Right.
Even with emunah, not treating emunah as if it's manifesting.
Right.
And one of the ways you can tell, if you're following different teachers and different things, is to look at who's their Masorah, who are they getting this from? Because a lot of pop psychology can pop up using these words and quote even sources to back it up. But you just have to say, does this fit with the thousands of years of Masorah that we have? You know, there are miracles that happen when you give Hashem true bitachon. That's what happened with my husband. My husband walked into my life the next day that I said, Hashem, this is not what I want, but if it's what you want, I'll really do my best. I was bawling my eyes out. I was just, really, really at a very raw place in myself. And I really surrendered the outcome. I surrendered my control of the dating. And when I did that, my husband literally, you could say, it manifested.
Totally.
Right? So, but you can't turn that into a formula.
No.
He may not have walked through the door the next day.
No.
He may not have.
But it was also, you unblocked, you released, you surrendered.
Yes,
no?
I did.
You 100% surrendered. I always find that after a good cry, where I cry my kishkas out, I don't care anymore. I surrender everything. Like nothing matters. And then things come in.
Right, because you created space, but you didn't make it come in.
No.
Do you hear the difference?
Yeah.
You created the keli for it.
But people think you make it come in because you're doing the work, you're releasing and you're opening, but it's all about being that corkscrew that rises to the surface.
What if it doesn't come in? What if you do all that work and it doesn't come in? Then what?
Then, well, I learned this
failed
from...
at bitachon?
No,
You
I
failed
learned this
at
from the
manifesting?
Dina Friedman course, her power series. She always says, Hashem's, if it doesn't work, then it's not now, then it means not now, or something's better is on the way. We just don't know because we don't know Hashem.
Right, which means we can't choose what we manifest when we manifest it. That's what I'm saying. We're not in control. Hashem's in control. Don't trick yourself that you're in control and that if you just had manifested right or just had more bitachon, it for sure would have happened now in this way in this time.
No, well, we don't
know that.
We don't know that. And it's right. And then you could think that something is exactly, you have a whole idea. Hashem has a much bigger idea. Like I always see that vision of there's just like, I don't know, this visual that I always see. It's like, we just want one flower, but Hashem wants to give us a whole garden.
Yeah.
So like, it doesn't always mean that your idea and your vision and whatever is going to be the way Hashem has it planned for you.
Right.
You know?
We don't have the whole picture.
No.
We're in the middle of a story. It doesn't mean it's not hard. It doesn't mean it's not painful. It is.
And what you just said, you're in the middle of a whole story. You're in the middle of a whole story, like lifetimes.
Lifetime story. And
souls.
lifetimes.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you don't know where the neshama, someone said to me, what about people that don't think about anything and they don't care about any of this emunah bitachon and they have so much money? I'm like, you don't know where their neshama's coming from. You don't know where their neshama's going.
Not
Like
just
we don't
that,
know the
but
whole
it's a
story.
test.
Right.
It could be a test for them. It's not about manifesting some miracle. It's an enormous nisayon to have money. And you're held accountable. And I don't know if I would want that nisayon, like to be really, really, really wealthy. I don't know if I'd want it. It's a really hard nisayon.
Yeah, everything, right, all different things
Every
are attached.
matzav is a different thing. And it's good for that soul to be tested in that way.
Right, but with them, you can't really look at one person and say like, oh, they did this, so this is the formula. Like,
No idea.
you're literally in the middle of an entire story.
You have no idea also what their intentions were. You have no idea what the challenges are. We just don't know. We have no clue. It's only between them and Hashem.
And also, the stars need to align. Like, when things are right, things are right.
Right.
You know? Like, you could do a million things. I also see this on, like, a very superficial thing. But, like, let's say, hacking Instagram or getting good at it. And everyone, you see all these videos of people telling you, this is what you need to do. You do these things, follow my formula. It'll work. I'm like, I could follow 1,000 formulas when it's meant to be.
Right.
Like that's just what it is. I see different points, different months, whatever, things are up and things are down. You could try as much as you want, but like, like what you said, we're not in control in the end of the day.
The outcome is up to Hashem.
Yeah.
It's hard to accept and it's hard to work with that, but that's the avodah.
Right. We have to do what you're saying, our hishtadlus.
Yeah.
That's all we could do.
We're all working with it.
Right. And at the end of the day, really the only thing we have, the hishtadlus, I think, not the hishtadlus, the true choice, we all have bechira, but the true choice is really just our thoughts. Mm-hmm. That's really what it comes down to. Yeah. What else do we have?
Correct. That's
right?
It. Yeah.
All right.
Amazing.
Jackie, this was so much fun.
We covered so many topics.
I know. So
great.
fast.
I know. I love it.
You're amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
We're very
for being
aligned
here.
on a lot of things.
Yeah. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy we got to talk.